We're doing a Ask the Sultan evening. Any question is fair game. Talk about anything you says, how are you doing today? The answer you give back to them is your state of mind. We're going to talk about how to change your state. Tips on growing your beard faster. High protein. Massage your face. Cincinnati in the house. South Carolina. Midland, Texas is in the house. Suggestion for curly hair with a bald spot. Use a pick and pick it out. Create the volume and loft. Yeah. Rosemary and castor oil. Our mustache is creepy. No. Nashville. T21 surfers in the house. Frame, does it come with age? Experience. It can be taught. Yeah, we're doing an Ask the Sultan tonight. Whatever questions that you want to ask, whatever. There's no agenda. I do have topics that I bring up, but preference always goes to super chats more than anything else, obviously, because that's just how life is. So, carnivore. Yeah, man. Eat meat, drink water. Period. Yes. Pipe smoking. What's the best way to condition your beard? Do a deep treatment. Kind of like a deep conditioning treatment with coconut oil. You've been separated for a while. Adrian, I'm always wanting to work on things, but she always comes up with, I will find some way better than you. What do you think about that? I think it's over. This is, it's hard. It's harder for you to hear that than it is for me to say that. But I'm also preaching to myself. When you get answers like that, it's over. So this is what I want you to do. Stop trying to win her back. A lot of these guys, listen, some of you men who've been married a long time and the women who've been married a long time, when it comes to someone who's separated for a while, many guys, many women try to get the other partner back. When a relationship is over, the most important thing that you can get back is you. You. Get you back. That's so important. I just hope that line alone helps somebody tonight. Men's pubic hair, shaved, trimmed, or Bigfoot. You can go any of those for any time of the year. You know, there's no rules for that. What am I packing tonight? Tonight is Virginia Cream by GLP's. Virginia Cream this was a gift from the Luxurious Bastard Beard Balm. I forget what this pipe is called. This is I don't know. If I turn it upside down, it's going to spill out on my lap. How often do I recommend multi-day fasts? I'm actually going to be starting a fast real soon, which I'm thinking is going to be about a 5-day fast. Favorite fountain pens? Jonathan, how are you, sir? Pilot Metropolitan is wonderful. Love it. It's just, some people say, oh, it's a great entry level. I like it. I mean, I'm not advanced, but I could see where I'd be using that, forever. Leave her and run. Yep. As T21 Surfer would say, walk. Okay, what do I think is the best way to pitch an idea to a business and land a deal? Show up in person if you can. Get a phone number, talk to the decision maker, eliminate Just find out who is the person that will say yes or no. And that's exactly who you need to be speaking with. Everyone else is a waste of time. Adrian, I hate to say it. Like I said, man, it's so difficult. Get you back. I don't say that. I don't say that lightly. I don't say that lightly because I do feel your pain. I do. Any advice for someone who likes to be a loner due to lack of trust? Well, first of all, if you're a loner, period, just enjoy being a loner, but learn how to enjoy not being a loner. You're not an introvert or an extrovert. You are an ambivert, which means that most people are ambiverts, which means, like, for instance, I am in between speaking sessions, in between talking to large groups, in between going online. I'm I'm an introvert when I go on stage, when I go on camera. I am an extrovert. It's plus the fact that's how I make my living, so I have to be. I can't be an introvert because I make a living talking with people. But like here I am tonight alone by myself, not bumming out at all. I'm not like, oh, I need to have someone with me. I don't need anyone with me. I have a pipe. I have some orange water here, Perrier. I'm just chilling, hanging out with you guys. So that's, you can be alone. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. There's nothing wrong with being alone. I haven't felt lonely in probably 15 years. 15 years. I got used to being alone. And I'll tell you what's hard now is bringing someone into my life who doesn't understand a man that needs to be alone. Now that's difficult. They're like, what do you mean you just sit there and smoke a pipe and read? And that's what I do. What do you mean you listen to classical music and you conduct it? That's what I do. What do you mean you just watch philosophy videos? I do. That's what I do. I haven't watched TV in 3 years. What's the best way to change? Let's see. How am I able to grow my facial hair to such an impressive degree? Are there any outside? The hair, skin, and nails vitamins are phenomenal. High protein in the hair, skin, and nail vitamins, and a biotin supplement. Your hair will just grow like a weed. It'll be insane. Let's see. Dave B. Yeah, I'm glad it's helping you, man. Any all-inclusive course to improving myself? Yes, watch all of my videos starting from 3 years ago up till now. There's yourself. That's going to improve you completely. That's what this channel is. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll get pissed. You'll see. I would say my channel might be one of the best self-improvement channels there is. Thoughts on living with a controlling mother-in-law? My mother-in-law has been living with us for the past 5 years, and is impacting my marriage with my wife. Seems like no one wants to help. Joey, I will say this. Is your mother medically needy? We are to take care of our parents, okay? But you, Joey, you are the head of your house. I was telling someone this tonight. I was talking to a lady whose husband needs to take the lead. And what I have discovered that women want, doesn't care, it doesn't matter. I don't care what woman it is, wife, sister, mother-in-law. Women respond to a leader. Doesn't matter who the woman is, a leader. Rather than reacting emotionally, react intellectually. There's got to be one intellectual thinker under that roof, and it might as well be you. Women operate on an emotional level by default. Can they be intellectual? Sure, of course. But by default, their baseline operating system is emotional. Men are intellectual, solution oriented, always looking for a way to fix things. What you need to do is step up to the plate. As the head of your house, you need to say, follow my lead. Please follow my lead. People might grumble. That's okay. It's your house. And negativity is not acceptable. And I want everyone here to be sane, clear, happy, content. Follow my lead. Men, say that with me right now. Follow my lead. It sounds kind of formal, doesn't it? Can you imagine looking the girl in the eye and holding her hand and just say, follow my lead. Trust me. Trust me. No man has ever said that to her, ever. No man has ever looked her in the eye and said, follow my lead. Trust me on this. Whew. That's deep, dudes. That's deep. Try it. Say it. Say it right now on the count of 3. Wait, I gotta count to 3. 1, 2. Follow my lead. Follow my lead. Powerful. Most people, 90% of people, respond to leadership, men and women. I'm of the firm belief that people are silently begging to be led. They're looking for someone to say, follow my lead. You can't lose with that attitude. I know I'm getting a million questions here. Why the Jordan Peterson post? No reason. Ashland, Kentucky. Gosh, I know I'm missing bazillions of them. Primal Geek. Texas moving to Arkansas. Opinion on crypto. I don't know much about crypto. My wife thinks I'm nuts. I dropped 10K into it last couple of months. She says no more. Yeah, you know what? I don't know enough to intelligently speak on it. And I'm not involved in any crypto myself. So I'm not the right... Basic dancing tips for guys who hate dancing. Eric, what a great question. Go to a place that gets crowded. That's the first thing. Because no one's going to see you from the shoulders down. Men think that if they're dancing, think about it. Men think if they're dancing, everyone's going to be looking at them and looking at their feet. That's the way men think. Okay? Like trained male dancers don't think that way. Go to a place that has a band or a DJ. When the dance floor is crowded, start going with lady friends, if you can, to get you comfortable in going there. And then when you want to go solo, you'll feel better. Meeting strangers and dancing with them for the first time is, you have to be really smooth to do that. I've done it a million times. And you have to be smooth to do that and be super confident. So if you have friends, go, because it's easier just to dance with friends. But basic dancing tips, first of all, this is what women used to tell me. Number 1, you got to bend your knees a little bit. The dorkiest dancer is a guy that dances with his knees locked, straight legs. Bend your knees a little bit, okay? Bend your knees a little bit. And just learn a basic 2-step, okay? That's all. Just look it up. You can actually go to YouTube and put basic 2-step or basic dancing for a man. And it's basically just dancing to the beat. What people are going to see, all right, let's say there's a dude who knows how to dance. And then there's the guy who doesn't really know how and wants to learn, okay? But he just took my advice. From the shoulders up, they look the same in a club because you can't see anyone. People are just like shoulder to shoulder. So what's happening is the guy who knows how to dance, he's just You know, he's just doing this. He's just, all right, the guy who's just bopping to the beat and just learned for the first time looks like this, looks the same, but no one's looking at their feet. No one's looking at fancy footwork. And that's all that matters. So Eric, you know, no one's judging people as much as you think. That's kind of like a lie that we tell ourselves, that people are going to think we're goofy or awkward or something like that, and that's not true. Dan C. Bearded is with us. Hey, Dan. Thanks for joining tonight. I love my solitude after the covert narcissist. Tips on staying in the present moment. Okay. Tips on staying in the present moment. That's by T-Dog. One of the best things that I do, and the popular word for this now is called mindfulness. And what you would do is go through your senses. Your senses are what? Taste, touch, smell, see, and hear. Go through your 5 senses, okay, and mention 3 things. 3 things from each sense. So let's say taste. What am I tasting? You know, do you have a drink? Are you puffing on a pipe? I have orange Perrier. In about 5 seconds, I'm going to be puffing on a pipe. And this aroma is just beautiful, beautiful tonight. I have a window open here and a door open here, so I have like a nice little cross breeze here. Taste, touch, name 3 things. I'm touching a pipe. My hand is on the arm of the chair. Smell, what am I smelling? Virginia tobacco. And I'm smelling fresh cut grass in the yard. Hear, what am I hearing? I'm hearing myself through these monitors that I have right here, these bone conduction monitors. I'm also hearing crickets outside because I'm outside in the Van Gogh room. Taste, touch, hear. Smelling, I'm smelling just, you know, like I said, the pipe, the fresh cut grass. What am I seeing? I'm looking at a monitor right now. Let me look elsewhere in here. I see a painting that I did. Name 2 or 3 things from each sense. All of a sudden, when you force yourself to go somewhere, you're taking yourself, and this is actually consistent with the original topic of tonight, changing your state. You're going from thinking about dread, loneliness, anger, sadness, frustration, to an exercise and taking you out of your head and doing a mindfulness exercise. It works magnificent. Try that. Oh, I have a million techniques. Whisper says, Mr. Bruno, what kind of confidence should you display when asking a girl out face to face? Well, you know this. I've told you this. See these things? They're called teeth. And it's not teeth are the key that unlocks the doors to opportunity. It's your smile. Your smile is, and not fake, make it, yeah. When you ask out a woman, you come from a place of joy, not a place of desperation. So when you're coming from a place of joy, you're already happy. You're like, you know, there were times, if you look back 3 years on some of my videos, I wasn't real happy. I was intellectual. I was honest, organized. structured. But there were some times when I wasn't really happy at all. And you can almost see the change in me if you've followed me for 3 years now. You've, I don't think I smiled for 6 months. Honestly, 6 months I didn't smile. There was a point in my life where I looked at pictures of myself where you never saw me with a smile. Now, that's all you see. So when you approach a woman, your smile is the key that unlocks doors to opportunity. That's a great place to start. And the best thing you can say is, "Hi, my name is," and just reach out your hand. Now, let me move this back. Let me show you something. All right, I don't know if you can see. Watch. Hi. Not like this. You don't shake hands like this. Is a business handshake. Gentlemen, when you reach your hand out to a woman, go at an angle a little bit. That is a friendlier, more personal approach. Hi, I'm George. Not hi. Like nice to do business with you. That's not what we're going at. We're going for friendly. We're not going for creepy. We're not going for cocky. We're not going for asshole. We're not going for mean. We're not going hateful. We're coming from a place of joy because you want to share your joy. You don't want to just take her affection. You want to give your joy. So she's a better person after coming in contact with you. If she doesn't accept you, guess whose problem it is? Hers, not yours. Let's see some other questions here. Tony Tuzo. Brognan. Hi, George. Salute from Argentina. What is your opinion about pornography in boys? I'm 22 years old, recovered from porn. Yeah. It creates expectations that you could never, ever live up to. You can never live up to what you see on camera, on film, on a flat screen, on a mobile device. You can't live up to it. And porn is, let's find the quickest way to get from A to B. Guy knocks on the door. Hello, who is it? Delivery man. Oh, okay, be right there. Oh, aren't you handsome? Oh, yes, man, will you sign right here? Well, maybe you should come in a little bit and... No, man, I gotta get going. I got plenty of packages to deliver today, but you must be thirsty. I'll give you something to drink. You want a glass of water? I got cold water. Come on in. Oh, all right. Comes in. All right. Like 30 seconds later, he's got her on the dining room table. Get from A to B as quickly as possible. That's porn. Real life, if you go by that, if that's your template for how things work between a man and a woman, man, you're going to be in trouble. Because what it does, it leaves out the heart, leaves out the emotions. Now, remember I said men are intellectual, women are emotional. There's times when a man will get more emotional. And that's what romance is. And that's what poetry and art is. Give me a second, Mike. I've had this thing since I was probably 5 years old. It's metal. Since I was 5. That's where a lot of inspiration and artists come from. Is from romantic things. I mean, look at half the songs that you listen to are about love, romance, breakups. They're not about dogs and ponies and clouds and cars. Some are, but they're about romance situations. When you get into the more rap stuff, you start getting into power struggles and social justice issues. I'm just flying through these like a slot machine. All right. What advice would you give to your 35-year-old son to vet a woman for kids? See how her childhood was. That's the first thing. That would be super important. See how her childhood is. Go easy on her. Everybody needs to vet everybody, period. I think people need to know each other for a long time before they hook up in any way. And then, of course, if you're having children, you got to build your relationship before you have children. Because as a couple, as a team, it takes a team to raise children. How good is she at being a team player, or is she just a taker? You can't have just a maker and a taker in a relationship. There's got to be some give and take. So that would probably be the biggest thing that I would look for in vetting someone for children. Hi, George. Thank you for your work. I've been fighting depression for so many years. After I made so many changes here and there through the years, I'm not precisely unstuck. Any advice? Yes. I want you to take the word depression, listen close, because this is going to be for a lot of people. Take the word depression and replace it with discouraged. Don't say I've been depressed for many years. Say I've been discouraged for many years. What is the cure for discouragement? The cure, thank you for that super chat, whoever that was. I didn't see who that was, but thank you so much. Appreciate that. That just popped up. Thank you. The cure for discouragement is courage. Look for things that give you courage. There's, some people call alcohol courage in a bottle. Worst thing for you. Think about things that will give you courage. You know how you get courage? By doing the things that you are fearful of. So my first home, like if I was to see you in a coaching session, I would ask you to make a list of the things that you fear. And then your homework lesson would be to do one of those things that you fear. And then tell me how you felt about it. And then tell me how you felt about that feeling. And tell me how that feeling affected your week. And what did it do for you? You defeated fear because you became courageous. What is the antidote for discouragement? Courage. Find your fears, tackle your fears, get courage, eliminate your fears one at a time. Discouragement starts to disappear. Let's go through the slot machine again here. Excellent. Smash that like button. Excellent. Thank you for super chats. Still I Rise says, women and men have a sixth sense. Women have intuition, men have instinct. There are some people that are more scientifically based that say that the intuition thing is a bunch of baloney. I know people that would say that. But I think we both have instinct and we both have intuition. I really do. Now check this out. Did you ever think about somebody, like they're on your mind, and the phone rings and it's them? What do you think that is? Like, doesn't it freak you out when that happens? You think of somebody and they show up. You're talking about somebody and then you encounter them, or you dream about somebody. That happens to men and women, some more than others. So I think we have to kind of diversify how can I put it? Diversify the way your operating system. Gather facts intellectually. But how do you feel about it? You walk up to an ATM machine at 11 o'clock at night. It's dark. You're there at the ATM machine. You put your card in. You're pressing the numbers. Now check this out. And all of a sudden you get a creepy feeling. You turn around, and there was someone there waiting to use the ATM machine, but you knew they were there. You didn't hear them. Something you sensed them. Let us not eliminate that beautiful gift that we have. That is a sixth sense. Don't seek to eliminate that or numb that. Do you ever introduce a girl or a guy to parents or friends, and then the next day you talk to the parents or friends, and the person says, "I didn't get a good feeling about them." Like, what do you mean? And some people just get that feeling about people, and many times they're right. That's a sixth sense. A sixth sense, not just what they see and hear, but what they're feeling, either with their heart or their mind. Or have I ever smoked cigarettes? No. A cigarette has never touched my mouth, ever. Lamar Powell, maybe I could mention the importance of hobbies for a man's well-being. Yeah. Men are designed to create solutions. And that's what hobbies are. They're solutions. Hobbies are building things, fixing things. It's not just things that waste your time. A hobby is something that where there is a product at the end of it. There's something to show for at the end of it. And it helps a man. It helps a man exercise his intellect and not his heart. It helps a man be more like a man. It's important. Show me a man who doesn't have hobbies, and I'll show you somebody who I can't have a conversation with for more than 2 minutes. Show me somebody who I can't have a cup of coffee with or have a beer with. Like, I have some friends that are just so interesting because their lives are interesting. You want to be interesting? Do interesting things. But hobbies are super important. Super. Let's see. Logically speaking, child marriage should be the norm. If every man got a wife, that we'd be able to groom them into mother. I'm not sure what all that means, but in past cultures, I mean, if you look in Christianity, you know, Jesus and Mary, Mary and Joseph had, you know, baby Jesus. But I've heard some accounts that Mary was like 14 years old, was not very long into her childbearing years and becoming a woman biologically. And Joseph probably wasn't much. I'm guessing he was probably late teens, early 20s, most likely. He was a carpenter. But ancient cultures all married young. We have this whole thing in Western culture where we prolong adolescence. And people don't grow up until they're 30 years old. I remember I was out of the house at, I don't know, like 20. Gone. Poof. Come home on Sundays. That was it. Now it's prolonged adolescence, and we do that through 4 years of college, which is just 4 years of learning how to either become a player or become frustrated with life and get a... Why does it take 4 years of learning to learn something? People walk out with no skills. They walk out of college these days with attitudes, but no skills. That's why everyone's friggin' broke. That's why no one has any money anymore, because they have no skills. They got attitudes. And they're learning all the wrong things. Take a look at the majors that colleges have. Don't get me going on this. I taught in college for 5 years. Look at some of the majors and some of the courses. What a waste of time, money, and resources. Horrible. Keep going here. I see Leshoft, Eric Leshoft. Smile when you're on the phone as well. To really feel that your words have a tonality and pattern interrupts are imperative. Yeah, that's true. Eric, are you on here? I didn't see your name pop up. But good to see you, man. Absolutely. You've been around a long time. And I still have your snowman figures at the studio. Been a fan since you did vids for a beard brand years ago, opening my own barber shop. How can I get in touch with you for advice to go about the best way possible? Thank you for your work. Adam, yes, great. I've helped, many barber shops and salons open over the years and become super successful. They wouldn't be where they are if it wasn't for me and some of my guidance. So email me, gb@georgebruno.com, and we'll talk. That's cool. Logan says, hey, George, where is the best place to meet women? Wherever women are. Period. I've been saying this for the past 2 weeks, is that social media is one big giant dating site. Period. You will meet your girlfriend or your wife on social media. It's going to happen. Not necessarily through dating sites. It's going to happen on social media. You know why? Because that's where you get to know people the best, and that's where people get to know you the best over long stretches of time. So you're not impressing somebody with a muscle picture or a bikini picture. They're seeing your behavior over a long period of time. There are women who have followed me and I've become friends. We know each other. Oh my God, like almost like brother and sister. Serious. And I've even felt like that could even be potential life companions for me. Felt that way. Absolutely. Because you get to know them too over a long period of time. And the only thing you have to do is start getting more personal about it. What I'm not going to do is be one of these people that says, well, you're going to meet someone when you least expect it. I'm not, that's a little too voodoo for me. I'm a little more intentional. Oh, when you least expect it, when you're not, how's this one? When you're not looking for somebody, that's when you'll meet somebody. Okay, that happens sometimes, but that's not the rule. First of all, you have to open up your heart. Come from a place of joy. In other words, like people think that sounds gay, right? Come from a place of joy. What do you use? Some kind of, no, I'm not some. Let me reword it then, because joy is not a word that people use in everyday language. Most people, anyways. I do. Just come from a place of contentment, happiness where you are in your life. That creates a thing called joy. If you're desperate, if you have desperation, if you have a need, there's a slight sucking sound in everything that you do. It's a vacuum. And you come across as being needy. You don't want to come across as being needy, right? So, best place to meet a woman, wherever there are women. That's how the Sultan would answer that. That's what I've done. I'm not giving you some like pie in the sky nonsense. I wouldn't tell you something if I haven't tried it. So, let's see. Oh my gosh, I have so many. Make George show the wooden cat. You remember that? Oh my gosh. I have the wooden cat right here. This has been in my family for so long. It's amazing. Let's see. There's so many things leaning against it. Here's the wooden cat. This has been in my family forever. I played with this as a little kid, and my kids have played with this when they were little kids. This is from Morocco. It's the size of a cat. Looks like a sphinx, right? Like a sphinx type of cat. Cheers from the Pacific Northwest. Let's see what else. Oh my gosh, there's so many people here. I can't believe it. All right. The wooden, that's my wooden cat. Sure, I can't believe you remember that. Yeah. It's been an interesting discussion tonight. It has been. Daybreak show starts on September 23rd. I'm not sure if I'm doing it live yet. I might. I'm not sure. The chopsticks will be fired up and ready to rock on September 23rd. We're excited about that. Brandon says, have a friend I'm trying to get on his game. Financially speaking, he needs more drive, but he's intelligent, dedicated, but to the wrong things. Any thoughts? Yes, he hasn't had enough pain yet in his life. He has to see where his behavior causes him enough discomfort. It's the pain and pleasure principle. And some people are addicted to pain and bad decision making and disappointment and discouragement. Instead of saying you're depressed, say you're discouraged. That's what I would say, Brandon. I have no idea who Phil Jackson is. How to deal with a woman whose native language is not English, Latina, Filipina, Japanese, whatever. Women understand the language of love. That's all. Period. That's it. I know that. She doesn't need to speak your language in order to understand love. Any tips for socializing, dating for introverts? That's from Buck. Buck, let me tell you, you're talking to one right now. You're talking to me. You're not an introvert. I used to say I was an introvert. I'm not. I'm an ambivert. And so are you, which means that you can rise to the occasion. Nobody was more shy than me. Nobody. I spent more time alone than any human being I know when I was younger. That's why I like it now. That's why if I ever got married now, you know, my wife would say, why do you like spending so much time alone? I just like quiet. I like reading. I like smoking a pipe. I like writing business plans, creating courses, doing my writing. That's what I love doing. It's what I've been doing for years. It's not going to stop because I get married. So, but after doing all that, I go on stage at various conferences and speak to hundreds of people. I go on the radio live and speak to thousands and thousands of people because I'm ambivert. I can go, don't let any test or any kind of thing like that determine your personality. Well, I'm really a ENTJ. Yeah, but you should be, but I'm a INFP. I mean, they're helpful a little bit. And anything that puts people in one of two categories, I don't like. It's too binary. It's too black, white for me. It's too red pill, blue pill, beta, alpha. It's too divisive. Introvert, extrovert. You're not. You can rise to the occasion. You can. Please block Melting Artist from this chat. I have no idea who that is. I didn't see anything. T21 Surfer, I think, is, I don't know. T21 is moderating here. Let's see. Just because you can handle opinions you don't like in your safe space doesn't mean you're superior. If she says she is an ABCD, run. My new wife is a Thai girl, working good so far. Yeah, my cousin who is my age has a Thai wife, and you know, he's an American Caucasian guy, and they've been married many years, have a beautiful family, very happy. You don't want to see my guitar skills, especially since I lost my hearing. I can't hear anything anymore. See these monitors that I'm wearing right here? These audio, these are bone conduction. They're not even in my ear. They're on the bone, and that vibrates. So when I'm listening to videos and talking on the phone, I'm not hearing through my eardrum. I'm hearing through the conduction of the bone. See this? Let me just take this off and show you. I also have these. I put these down below every video where you can get these. They're called Treks. Can you see that? And they go over my ear, not in my ear, and they go right in front of my ear on that bone. And I lost my pitch, so I'm relearning everything. I talk a little bit louder than most people because the little bit that I can hear, I need to be able to hear that so I can modulate properly. And there are people that say to me quite often, dude, you're talking really loud. And I'm aware of that. So, but yeah, guitar playing really got hurt. Too old for the military. How do you deal with a mentally ill spouse? I could never even begin to tell you that. That's a rough one. That's a hard one. It all depends. What if they were? Let me ask you this: how would you deal with a physically ill spouse? Using patience, right? I think the same thing with a mentally ill spouse. Patience, understanding, not reacting emotionally to the things that are brought up in that household. Very difficult. Hi, George. How to figure out if one should get married or not? I am 33 years old. Only you know if you're ready to get married. Are you mature enough? Can you support a family? Are you making enough money? Are you a leader? If you meet a woman and you say to her, follow my lead, will she, if you want to be a leader, you have to have people that will follow you. And are you worthy of being followed? Work on yourself. You will know when you're ready. And there's never a perfect time. Seriously. Most people will tell you they had no idea what marriage was all about before they got married. Seriously. Most people don't. Most long-term married people don't. They would say that if they were clueless, no matter how long they dated. It's a fact. Thoughts on the best razor? Yes, feather razors. There's nothing better. You almost red-pilled your way out of an amazing relationship, nearly slipped out of my hands. I pulled out of the nosedive. Yeah, dude. That is so true. That is so true. You can just red pill your way into a corner and red pill your way out of, I don't know what it is. Sometimes the red pill just brings the worst out of people because it's really a binary living. You start seeing everyone as either alpha or beta, red pill or blue pill. And it's a shitty way to look at the world, isn't it? The world has so many facets and so many different kinds of people, and to reduce humanity to alpha, beta, red, or blue is just ridiculous. That belongs in science fiction, not in real life. There's a lot of gray areas in there. Life is nuanced. Yeah, man, you got it. People are nuanced. You're right. That is a fact. Any other questions? Questions for tonight? T21 server says, red pill is a great tool if used properly. Yeah. Have I ever done the 100 push-up 30-day challenge? What's that, like 100 push-ups a day? I've never done that. Although my body responds insanely well to push-ups. My Lord. A week of doing push-ups and I look insanely strong. Any advice on starting your own business? What's the first year life? I always tell people this. 2 things need to happen. You need to do what you're good at, and you need to do what you like. Where those 2 things converge, that's the best place to have a business. Are you good at it? Are you good at it, and do you like it? Do you enjoy it? And then how do you get paid for it? Other people need to recognize that you're good at it, no matter what that is. If you're producing something, whether it be a product or a service, or a product and a service. How do I adapt moving to a new small town after living in San Diego? Yeah, I was in San Diego, I don't know, about 4 years ago, teaching out there. And I was living in a small town at the time, and I'd come back, and coming to the small town felt so dead to me. I remember at the end of a long day and going out to dinner and having some drinks at nighttime, walking back to the hotel room at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like alive. It was just like daytime. Where I was living in a country area, I live now just outside the city of Philadelphia, but when I was living in a more countrified area, which was cows and cornfields and a small town, literally 7 o'clock at night, things got quiet. By 9 o'clock, there was no sound. You could hear just crickets, and the town was dark except for the streetlights. And when I came back from San Diego, I thought, peace. But I can't imagine. Oh, and then when I went to San Diego, I thought, man, this is like, how can anyone live like this? It takes time. How do you adjust? It takes time. You adapt by exposing yourself to it, little by little. That's called systematic desensitization. You'll be all right. Tim McMeans says, best advice for starting over late in life. That's a really good question. Best advice for starting over late in life. Number 1, you're never too old. Never too old. I created a second career for myself, have become insanely successful at it. And that second career has kind of like blossomed into something even bigger than I ever imagined. So be ready for it. You need to be physically ready for it, starting over. Get yourself into shape. I hope you're in shape. Lose weight. Get down to your ideal weight. Eat well. Sleep well. Exercise. Get the body in good shape. Have peace in your relationships. If you have peace in your relationships, man, you can kill it. Hey, whoever gave a super chat, thank you. Appreciate that. Peace in your relationships is a big thing for starting over. Because the assumption is that if you're starting over, creating a new life, you've learned lessons from the past. And if you haven't learned those lessons, then maybe it's not a good time to start over. But if you learn those lessons, you now have the opportunity to practice the things that you learned and not make the same mistakes that you originally made when you were younger. You do things a little bit old when you're older. When I was younger, I couldn't wait till I got older because I just knew that I would make better decisions as an older guy. And guess what? I was right. And you'll be right too. Let's fly through some of these. Do I think it's true that some people are biologically night owls and can't be early birds because I'm a so-called night owl but want to rise early? I envy your style. Yeah. I know. I get up pretty early. A dad? Thank you. 35-year-old red-pilled son. How to vet wife and kids. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Vet the wife. You need to see her personal habits. What you need to see her at her lowest. How does she handle conflict? What happens when chaos and conflict come into her life? Does she panic? Does she make rash decisions? That's super important to find out. And you only find that out in time. That's what I would say. George, can I ask how your relationship with your ex is today? I'm going through a difficult. Yeah, John, Boston. I don't have a relationship with my ex. There's a reason why she's my ex. If I thought there was any chance of us, or if she thought there was any chance of us having a functioning relationship, we wouldn't be divorced. And that was 15 years ago. So I don't have a relationship with her. People say to me, do you still love her? No. Some people said, well, do you hate her? I said, no. Well, then what? I nothing her. She's insignificant to me. She doesn't create emotions in me anymore. She doesn't have that power. I don't have that power over her. She doesn't have that power over me. And we moved on and we created our own lives, completely 100% separate from one another. We don't cross paths in any form or fashion. And it's just part of the past that you learn from. I wasn't perfect. She wasn't perfect. But I will tell you this. Remove the emotions that are attached to those memories. That's the only thing you can do. You say it's difficult. What you're saying is the emotions are difficult. Remove the emotions that are attached to those memories. Go back. Talk to somebody about that. Let's see. Is YouTube good income? It used to be. It was extremely good. Quit my job because of it. And then it got real bad. And it's working its way back up. Yeah. Marcus says, very unhappy with current life. Where do you begin the change? Change what you can. First thing you can do is change the time you get up in the morning and go out and take a walk, brisk walk, or work out, or hit the floor and do 20 push-ups and some sit-ups, and go to a chair and do some dips. Take a cold shower. Do carnivore try carnivore for a week. I was going to say a month, but just try it for a week. Only eat meat for a week. Eat as much as you want, whenever you want. Only eat meat. You're going to see a change in your body, change in your skin. You got to shock the body. You got to shock your life. That's how you do it. Shock your life if you want change. Change what you can. I tell people all the time when they're recovering from divorce and breakups, first, do no harm. Secondly, do only good. I would say the same thing to you. What are my thoughts on meme culture and a way it is used in the form of communication? It's okay. It's funny. I'd rather see paragraphs than a meme. Memes are clever, but they're not intelligent. John, I do cut hair 3 days a week. Yes, I do. And I love it. I love cutting hair. I do straight razor shaves, beard shaping, all that. Anything with a man from the neck up. I don't do ladies' hair anymore. How do you unprogram from the past? That's another great question. How do you unprogram from the past? Your emotions follow your motions. You have to change your actions, and then your emotions will follow. That's super important. And then that's self-reinforcing. That's important that you do that. Change your actions. And then look for the new emotions that accompany those new actions. It's a way to feel alive and feel new, and a great way to start over and to unprogram from the past. All right, everybody, it's been over an hour. It's been fun. This was a good show, spontaneous. I hope you got something out of it, and I know I did, and seeing some familiar names here, and I'm really appreciative of you. I'll do it again soon. Keep an eye out for me, and we're going to do the Daybreak show on September 23rd, early in the morning. That'll start up. That'll be fun to get season 2 going again. All right. Be excellent and beast wishes. See ya.